Hey everybody, what's going on? Clint and Ti here. We got a chance to go see Fast and Furious. Nope, we got a chance to go see The Fate of the Furious.
It's 8 Fast, 8 Furious.
It's a missed opportunity is what it is. Anyway, Fate of the Furious out this weekend. This is the one. Now Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, he's gone rogue. He's betrayed his family. Which is a very big deal for him. And then he's working with Charlize Theron, who's a hacker named
Wearing
Cypher.
Angelina Jolie's wig from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah. Would it have been better if it was Angelina Jolie's wig from Hackers?
Probably.
So Statham is back in the mix. Kurt Russell is there again. We got cars fighting submarines. You know, it's a Fast and the Furious movie.
I feel like this movie is exactly what I was expecting. It more or less continues in the vein of what we've seen this franchise do. I think at this point, though, they're going to see a little bit of diminishing returns because even for people who are on board with this franchise and kind of buy into the "it's ridiculous and I'm here for it" kind of premise, I think they're starting to hit a point where they're not taking it to anywhere that's new and refreshing, and you can see them visibly straining to try to up the ante.
I've always been on that train, and there's a lot of talk going around about, like, I mean, it is what it is, you guys, and it's fun. I understand that line of thinking for the Fast and Furious movies. I've never quite bought into it, but now I really don't. Part of the charm of this franchise is how earnest they are when they're not wrecking cars all over the place, right? It's all about family. Everybody's taking this so seriously, and it's the end of the world. And the whole family part of it has been a growing part of the franchise. Like, I feel like the percentage of ridiculous car action to family earnestness has like gone, the scales are tipping in the wrong direction, I feel like, especially with this one. And now they got Statham back in the mix, and he's part of the family too. But guys, 2 movies ago, he murdered your family in cold blood.
Right.
So all this earnest family business, like, it's bullshit.
Yeah, how are you going to bring a guy into your family when he killed one of your other family members?
This franchise has turned a corner to where the cool, fun stuff isn't cool or fun enough to counteract the rest of the crap that they're leaning on. The really overdramatic, self-serious family stuff.
I almost felt like there wasn't enough driving in the movie as well. I feel like there were maybe 3 sequences that involve, you know, a race/chase. And for a Fast and the Furious movie, I kind of want more than that. I know they open with one, which is sort of traditional for the movie. You know, they kind of followed a lot of the story structures that we've seen in the past. And at this point, it's becoming a little bit rote, a little bit overdone. But in terms of them trying to, like, well, what can we do this time that we haven't done before? I don't really think they delivered in quite the way that they did in the sort of Justin Lin era of the Fast and the Furious movies, which I think is when that franchise became what it is for a lot of people. I think right now they're trying to do something that's really taking them off track rather than actually creating a more revitalized version of this franchise.
I think if you look at what they did between the 4th one and the 5th one, you know, by the time they got to the 4th one, it's like, okay, there's nothing else that we can do with street racing. Let's make them heist movies now.
Exactly. And
it was great. I think the 5th one is legitimately a really good movie. But I think they're at another point right now where they need to do that again. If they want to keep making these movies, they need to change course because, like, the stuff that's getting old is the family stuff. Everybody laughed. There was lolling in the theater every time anybody said family.
the word family.
That's getting old. The other bit that's wearing out is like, wait, aren't these guys just mechanics and street racers?
Totally. A few of our compatriots in the YouTube movie review game have made the same observation where it's just like, wait a minute, weren't you just like a street racer guy a couple movies ago and now you're the most dangerous man in the world? Like, when did that happen exactly? And why are you able to just like be a straight up murderer as well? I'm not sure when you got a license to kill.
That is the other thing. The body count in this movie is ridiculous.
It's very high. And there's innocent people who are just doing their jobs, like security guards and things.
There's a scene in the beginning that involves a wrecking ball. And then after the wrecking ball sweeps through and like destroys all of these cars in a number of ways, Ludacris is like, gotcha.
Because he's ludicrous.
No, you just murdered like 30 people.
Yeah.
Like, it's gone to a place that I don't think it needs to go any further. It needs to pivot. If there's going to be...
Go back to the heists.
Yeah, just go back to the easy heist. I don't need you saving the world.
I always love a good heist movie. I do not want to think that Vin Diesel is the one who's going to prevent nuclear apocalypse.
Overall, I'm over it.
Yeah. If anything, I think they really need to lean more on Jason Statham because I would say Jason Statham for me was by far the most fun part of this movie.
What you'll want after Fate of the Furious is The Rock's Hobbs and Jason Statham's Deckard Shaw, the buddy cop movie.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, buddy cops.
Yeah.
That's all I want now.
Overall, I'd say that if you're already a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise, and if you've completely embraced the ridiculousness of it, you'll still enjoy this movie, I would say very much. You'll probably like it a lot more than I did. I think that I've never fully bought into it, even a little bit. So I've always been kind of the skeptic in the theater, laughing when they're not trying to be funny. And for me, like, I feel like they've lost their way a little bit with this one.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we think of Fate of the Furious. Now let's move on to the recommendation half of this. What are we watching instead of Fate of the Furious? You
know what I'm actually going to recommend? I'm going to recommend literally anything else. Just kidding. I'm going to recommend The Italian Job, which was also directed by F. Gary Gray, and it also has Charlize Theron in it. I feel like...
And Jason Statham.
And Jason Statham, as a matter of fact. I feel like that is the fun heist, you know, ensemble kind of movie that I wish this had been, instead of getting a little bit too big for its britches.
Yeah, it is kind of like a good version of the glory days of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. The laws of physics don't like exclusively work, but they're not insane.
And they're not trying to offend your intelligence either.
It's not about family. For my recommendation, I'm going to go back to 2007 and Shoot 'Em Up, starring Clive Owen and Paul Giamatti. It is a really silly movie. It's nothing but like really strangely choreographed action sequences. Like Clive Owen plays this drifter, and in the beginning of the movie, he kills a guy by stabbing him in the face with a carrot. It's strange and it's goofy.
You had me at hello.
Yeah, right? There's a plot that involves the Second Amendment and gun control and also like bone marrow transplants that it's a bonkers plot, but it's so secondary to what the movie actually is, and it's just like silly, mindless gunplay and action, and it is a lot of fun. All right, everybody, that is what we think of Fate of the Furious. If you've seen it, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Also, what do you think about our recommendations? When was the last time you saw The Italian Job? You ever seen Shoot 'Em Up? Let us know what you think about those in the comments too. And as always, click like and subscribe. Stick around CineFix for more movie stuff. We'll see you guys next time.